Good morning, good morning, good morning. Just trying to make sure that the sound is okay. Well, hopefully the sound is okay. See if my partner can check in on that. The content presented on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be considered financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. All opinions expressed are solely those of the presenter and are based on publicly available information. Investing and trading involve risk, including the potential loss of principal. Always conduct your own research and consult with a qualified financial professional before making any investment decisions. And it seems that I got thumbs up on the volume. I hope everybody had a wonderful day. Yesterday, um, hmm, it's so weird. Trying to find it. Okay. Well, I hope everyone had a wonderful day yesterday. All right. So the title of the show today is Bitcoin basically hovering above the $65,000 level. Um, We have reached, the one-to-one target. It took a long time to get here. That's a scary thing, to think about, to be honest with you, that price action is finally hitting the one to finally hit the one-to-one, take profit, at least secure some profits, or maybe that's everything you wanted right there. As I shared on X yesterday, I just, use the first stop since price action had moved away from that top enough that you should be in profits or should have locked in some capital, and your stop loss should be moved, and that way you secure, you're not, giving gains back to the market. Because if price action comes back up and takes out that high, then the next entry would be something that we need to look at, and this would be invalidated. Like, it's not something that I would be trying to add to, especially after hitting at least a one-to-one, profit, TP here, which is what I was expecting to happen. Still making lower highs and continuing to, when you look at it from a lower time frame, at least something like the 15-minute time frame, we do have a market structure shift. Now I'm noticing that again, because we are coming down really, really slow, momentum is still up. Like it's hard to like really tell it just by looking at the chart right now, especially if you're on a lower time frame. But momentum is still rising here. I can see it if I look at something like, for example, the Bollinger Band. This looks like we're still pushing higher. So if I'm on a daily time frame, you'll see we're trading in between standard deviation 1 and standard deviation 2. So that is a little bit concerning that that we have the potential of coming up and taking out has the potential of coming up and taking out this high along with this high right here. We would still be hitting some major resistance. So I would expect to see us to wick a little bit. We're not going to get through this area easily um, for a lot of reasons. And and one of those, I mean, it is the point of control. That's not the big thing for me. I'm really looking at the resistance on the monthly time frame is what I shared with you. It's the monthly time frame for me. Um, that states it's not going to be an easy breakthrough. So I've taken profits from my position, and this is coming off of my QTD. Looks like something. Oh, okay, I turned it off, so you're not seeing that. We look like we have a little rising structure in here. We want to see this breakdown to give me some clarity that we're not going to come back up here and take out this high. So I was looking at the QTB. I posted this as well. Just, basic and it's interesting. Bitcoin price is interesting because when I look here, it just tells me, okay, this is a rising wedge, and I'll be looking for it to break to the downside. And right now, we're sitting on support. We're sitting on support with the point of control here, the 382 sitting right here, and the 50% retracement sitting right in here. And of course, this is the golden pocket 786, but this overall. just a rising structure. The way I had this defined, from here, you can see we were breaking above it a little bit, on, Tuesday, we were breaking above it, um, but I understood that we're pushing into resistance at the same time, but we were breaking above it, ever so slightly. Here, now this is drawn different, and then we got the swing failure right there, but, drawn a little bit different from how it is here, because instead of me using these 2 lower points right here, I'm actually drawing it from this point and through here, and that's giving me the rising wedge structure that's taking place, from this momentum low into here. So if I had it like this is what it would look like, and I would, um, need to actually, I don't get to set this back. Oh, yeah, I do, right here. So it will look, a little bit more something like this right here. These sometimes will line up with each other. This QTD and this RSI will sometimes line up with each other, and sometimes it won't. Um, like over here, you can see we got a lower low right here, and here it's the same. So here I would have seen the bullish div. Here I would not have seen the bullish div. Um, but I can see the bullish div from right here. So sometimes they will line up with each other, and even here you can see they're slightly off a bit as the RSI is not it never tapped this top portion here, but here it did. So, I'm just gonna put it I like to have some difference. I'm gonna set it back like that. Alright. So here, it's 66,993.86, which is like $2 off from where the entry is. The current stop loss is. It's $2 off from where the current stop loss is. You can do whatever you feel like is best for you. I don't know your financial situation. I will allow myself to just go ahead and be stopped out, if need be. I've already taken profit, of course. So, me getting stopped out is not a big deal. You might wanna raise your invalidation up. You don't have to go with what I go with. You can raise your invalidation up. I do still have that second invalidation, but this is basically this is it based on my levels. This is it. So I don't expect for us to just push through it. I just don't expect that. It'll be a lot like we were in here. Like it took a long time for us to even get below this one right here. Like it took a long time. We eventually did, and we recovered. So it's possible. It's possible that we'll, eventually get through this. We won't get too far because it is major resistance, and then we look to recover. Okay, it could be that we do something like, let's just give it that, for example, 68 to 26.35. That's just an example of where price action, if it pushes through here, where it might find its next point of resistance, it could just be that. It could be 68 to 26.39. And I think, let me go back over here to this actual setup. Because I do have and I'm not sure which note it's gonna be, so bear with me. I will find our note. Okay, so that one's 67, it's not 68. And then, of course, this was the original stop, which is exactly where it is right now, so you can see that in the graphic as well from any other post that I made on it, from where I first gave it an update. That has been the only update that has been given to it aside from me putting in the profit taking tool, for guidance. All right. Oh, don't want to take that away. Actually, let me put these two down below. So I'll know that I'm focusing only here. Boy, I swear I got too many indicators already. I'm looking at everything. A lot of them are metrics like this for me to look at. Um, so right now it's just a standard deviation, a RSI standard deviation, not standard deviation, but a RSI mean reversion is what I meant to say. So right now that's what we have at the 1-to-1 is a RSI mean reversion, and that's it. Like you can see it right here. Um, I actually don't have it on, but you can see it's at 52. So RSI mean is a 50. So we did a RSI mean reversion um, into this point and a recovery. So we did a swing up right there at the RSI mean. So I have shared some other trade setups, but before I get into those, let's take a look at oil because oil is on a rampage. Now we're showing that it is toppy. The chart does read that it is toppy, but nonetheless, it's trading within standard deviation 1 and 2. Now that's a good, strong standard deviation 1 and 2 right there. A very good, strong standard deviation 1 and 2. Want to see that retrace under standard deviation 1, come back up and back test standard deviation 1. Around standard deviation 1 anyway, it should end up being like a golden pocket 786 back test and for a rejection there because we have pushed through the key pivot point. The next key pivot point we would have had to look at. We have pushed through that one. So that would have been right here at the 87.59. We pushed through that one. If it continues to rise up, because this is in the pocket. This is in the pocket or the trap. I either call it the pocket or I call it the trap, but we'll just say it's in the pocket right now. And if it keeps pushing up, then the next pivot resistance I have is 92.05. These levels have been the same for several months. The only two that I added a while back was no, actually I only added one, I believe, and it was this one right here, and that was a while back before we reached it, just in case. Lost the back test. But yeah, this is wild over here. So right now, every time it drops into standard deviation 1, it bounces off of standard deviation 1 and pushes back up into standard deviation 2. So it's still trading very, very, very strong. That's what it has done throughout here. And then maybe it comes down to the 20 SMA, which is, you're going to have a better chance of using. If you're bullish on oil, then you want to use something a little bit more stable, and that's going to be this trend line right here. So this is what we need to see for oil, unless you're bold enough to take it and let's just say that this is the back test of the breakdown. So we can assume that. Um, Let me just add a trend line in here and see exactly where we are. Okay. So a little bit more to go if we want to say that it's a back test of the wedge that we broke down from. We've definitely already broken through this point right here with no problems. It is toppy. Again, it is toppy, but it's not reversible, but it's toppy for a scalp. That's it. It pushes up into standard deviation 2. You have an opportunity to scalp short it, but that's it. Until we at least do something like, let's just say from where that current high is, say it comes back down, breaks below that. It doesn't have to come all the way down here, but breaks below that, and then this starts to go sideways. Then we can do a back test into it, wherever it may be at, and then look for another break right here. So it would be, you see this example over here? You're trading outside of standard deviation. Well, you're trading in standard deviation 1 and 2. You get a breakdown, you push back up, you find resistance around standard deviation 1, and then you get another test down. It could just lead into another little flag, but that's what we need to see right there. Something like that. Again, it would just be scalps up here as it is toppy. You can take your chances if you want to. I don't even know if it was toppy right over here. I don't know if it was toppy when we were at here. Probably not, but it's definitely reading that it's toppy right now. Let's see what kind of bearings is happening on the rest of the market. I mean, at least see what SPY looks like. Okay, I just took off the short position in here on SPY just to clear up some space in here, but see, it's not up here. It hasn't invalidated that yet. Um, and in hindsight, I can see how I needed to not try to be aggressive on the entry and should have just waited. I before sharing it. I should have done that, but uh, not having a strong bearing on SPY. SpaceX ended up seeing a pop up yesterday. Oh, it's getting to a place where I'm going to be buying it. It's getting to a place where I will be buying some more SpaceX if it comes down here into. Actually, let me put these on the right side so I can see the numbers. So as soon as we tap into about 110, I will add to my SpaceX DCA plan. There, I'll just continue to cycle. I have to add a 1 to 1. Again, I think that SpaceX might be going to $40. I mean, that's what's the word I usually use? It might be a bit ambitious. It might be a bit ambitious, but I think that I mean $40, 40 bucks is the ultimate goal. I would DCA all the way down into it because I don't know. I don't know with this one. I don't have any. The only thing I can do is just go off of what new IPOs generally do, and that's it. Going to adjust this now to look like this. That is all I can do. I mean, look at that. This is strongly staying in, and I don't usually look at a pocket for VWAP, but obviously it's in the pocket for VWAP. I tried that with I tried that pocket situation for my ambitious entry for TSM, and that didn't work out good. Okay. Well, I didn't take a short on TSM anyway because I'm bullish. I was bullish on TSM. I just wanted my long entry from a little bit lower, and we were almost there. But yeah, it's just trading in between standard deviation 2 and standard deviation 1. So that's what you're getting, at least until it breaks like TSM did. Because TSM, I want it lower. I didn't get it. It has started to trade within standard deviation 1 and 2. I was trying to get to the 377. We didn't get to the 377, obviously, which would have been, so undervalued, and I'd have been so in there. So we're back testing VWAP right now on TSM. And I shared the post on this. I could see that it was holding the little lows in here just off the trend lines alone. Um, and then we got to break above this position right here. Mm, like it's flagging out right here. Maybe putting in a little ascending triangle. But that's basically it. I haven't looked at Tesla. Oh, I thought the earnings went well. Did it not? Oh, it didn't. Oh, wow. I didn't even look at it yesterday. Um, well, that didn't happen. Up close, but that didn't happen. All right, drop this. Time to get ambitious again. So it's back to holding the low of this falling wedge that it had into a weekly level. I'll be looking forward to come back into this trend line right here, the ascending trend line here. Never know what that's going to be, but it looks like it's somewhere below 320, around 320, or slightly under it. I would say around 320 down here into the next weekly average range zone in here around 306 to yeah, I'd be looking down here. I thought I had a table in here at one point. I do. I had a table in here of things that I was looking for on here. I never updated this table, so it's kind of old right now. So I was looking at a 1 month 335. Um, which means it's down here at this low. Then I was looking at a 320, which is what I just said, right? I just said 320. How about that? Yeah. So 320, 254. This is that's overreach right there. These were just some numbers that I was looking at. So a 3 month mean reversion was something that I was had my eyes on. Um, that was a while back. I don't know. Hold on, what was that number again? I said the 320, right? Yeah, 320. I don't know how much that's changed. I don't know when I looked at those numbers. So it must have been over here somewhere when I looked at the numbers. It must have been over here with this candle or something. There's a lot has changed in here. So you get a mean reversion on the 3 month time frame right here at the top side of this weekly level right here, which is 354. It doesn't mean that it can't push through it. It can. So obviously, you have the potential of wicking through it, but not closing below it immediately. So you see, like this mean reversion test right here, where it got had the wicks down there, but no body closure right here. Same thing over here. You got the wicks below it, but no body closure, and you get a bounce up. I would expect the same thing right through here. So I would say between there and down here to this level right here, where we're currently at. So we're at the mean reversion right now. Put this back here. So we're at the mean right now. You can see where I have to be back on the other chart though. So it's 351 right now, but you can see that it is there. So RSI mean reversion on I'm on the monthly. Here we go. Oh gosh. I was on the monthly. Right. So I think I'm gonna go back over there to the monthly time frame. But yeah, um, this is 343, which is around this low right here. That's a fast mean reversion, and then this is I'm watching this trend line right here though, so Imma stick with the monthly 'cause I like this point from here to here, and again, that's just the bottom side of that, yeah. I seriously doubt that I would be buying, right now. Oh, I see some things I need to get off of here. There's some tabs that were open down there. It's something I'm just gonna look for. Something I come back in and check on. But anyway, who else had their earnings yesterday? Was it Google? I just wanted to see that since I wasn't here yesterday. I don't know what was going on. Was it Google that had earnings yesterday as well? Good earnings, but rolling, rolling, rolling. Guidance must have came in not so great. I don't know what this is. Let's see what this is. And they got a lot of areas of interest on her. I must have a table in here somewhere too, but I don't see it. I don't see the table. I can see why I chose that as a loan. When it comes to that pivot. And see, we held that one. We got to bounce up. So I must be looking right here at this 313. Let me just get rid of that stuff. Yeah, you can remove that. Yeah, you can remove that. There's too much going on. You need to be three. You need to be 313 anyway. Set you over here to the side. Oh boy. Got golden pocket, and then you got the pivot zones of support that are coming in right here. Might be a good one, especially if the earnings. I don't know what was in the earnings report. I would have to go in and read it. It could have been something with guidance, or maybe it's the fact that oil is pushing higher, and we're anticipating again that inflation. You got, and I've said it quite a few streams in now. If oil got above 380, above 86. Oh boy, you can forget them numbers that we were seeing about the deflation because it was all, the fact that we were down on oil that helped with the inflation a lot. I mean, we're pushing heavy on oil and escalation. I mean, the W boy, the W. I ain't talking one, it's the W. It's yeah, escalating. So I like that. That's it, stock wise. Let's get over here in the charts on the altcoins that I've been watching. Of course, I'm in a Litecoin short. I'm in a Litecoin short. Initially, I was waiting on Litecoin to go higher for the short entry, but this is actually the second time that I've entered into the short position. I entered prior, on this candle right here. I entered it prior on this candle right here, and then I wrote it down and I took some profit out of that. It came back up. It stopped me out because I moved my stop loss break even. And then on the push back up into the golden pocket, 786, I re-entered into the short position on Litecoin. So that's one short position that I have open right now is Litecoin. The other position I'm watching right now, actually, let me do this since I'm taking you through the drama, the trauma, the drama. That's the Litecoin short. So I am in a Litecoin short. We came back up. We tapped into that golden pocket, 47, whatever, whatever. I took a short. If it stops me out again, I'm looking for another short entry on it. This thing is not at a place where you like it's been outperforming Bitcoin a bit, but it's not at a place where you want to be trying to long it. Even if I mean not up here. Like if it comes down, then sure. Um, long all day long. Let me turn that scale off. Long all day long. If it comes back down somewhere. Um, and keep structure intact. But up here is short. So that's one position that I'm in right there. Hyperliquid, which I liked it down here. I was looking for it to drop into the golden pocket. We didn't get that. And like I explained in the post at Down to Crypto TA, you can follow me there on X at Down to Crypto TA. At least most of my posts right now, mainly my posts go to X. I am working on a site though where you'll be able to find trade setups that I have sitting inside of the waiting room, and then once they leave the waiting room, then I post them in a community platform. Okay, but what I liked about Hyperliquid, which is struggling a bit in here, was the bullish divergence. So if you look here, and I did post this on X. Um, Let me squeeze this in to make it easier. Oh, let me turn this on. Just slap this over. You see that? Now, overall, I think that Hyperliquid is bearish. But you see that bull div? And the crazy thing was, as we were getting the bull div, we were showing that we had a strong market bias to the downside. So that just indicated to me that there was a lot of weakness coming from the sell off. So I did enter a long position on this, and it was holding the it wicked through it, but it did not close below it, and that was a 50% extension. I don't typically go with a 50% extension. I usually look at the golden pocket 786, especially like I said, when we reject from a 382.50, that's bearish. And we did that right here. We did that right here, rejected in here. And of course, I shared this on X, and I also shared the fact, and I talked about it on stream also, um, right here. That was our status. But that 4-hour bullish divergence that was popping up in here, and like I said, that what I don't typically use is the 50% extension. I just happened to I was like, let me find like what what compels me to wanna go ahead and enter because I posted on it earlier and I said, "Hey, because we're rejected from up here, I'll be looking for price action to come back into the golden pocket 786." And I kept seeing that bullish divergence, kept seeing it, and then I was like, "Well, let me add a 50 in here and see if that's what we're doing." And as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Man, Imma go ahead and give this a shot." So I did jump into it, was up a little bit better. Um, I just took a chance. I haven't taken any profit off of it. My stop loss is just set to break even. I think I entered somewhere off this wick down here, something like that. But yeah, I'm in the hyperliquid, long setup. I don't have a setup on the chart. I just gave numbers to watch, and that was the golden pocket to the 786. I think that this has to be scratched off. I know that below 58 is like it's problem for hyperliquid below 58. So back above the point of control in here right now. I'm at the value area low. Back above the value area low right now. The larger one and the internal one. It's right here with the little lighter green color. That's the internal one right there. So, um, that's what's happening with Hyperliquid. Um, H bar has been on a tear, but H bar is hitting some exhaustion. I haven't posted any images or anything like that on it, but I will get over there and take a look at that. Oh, Zcash, let me push back. Z. I did enter along on Zcash. Um, we're at a pivot point for Zcash. I was looking forward to get into this order block right here, but I decided to go ahead and just enter it earlier than that. Um, it may not, it still may not work out. I think I had another position in here that I was looking at also. Yeah, but that would be down here a lot lower at this pivot here. Is that where I have? Let me see. Yeah, it'll be down here at the golden pocket and a pivot here for Zcash. So if I get stopped out on this right here, then I would end up shifting my idea um, to lower. I may just sit on my hands. I don't. To tell you the truth, I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm gonna sit on my hands, and I don't. And I don't. But we have an ascending trend line right here. It may still push down and break, tap into this order block, tap into this trend line right here. It may still do that. It hasn't found any strength just yet to push past the resistance that is through here. So you can see where it's been hitting at, has been right here. And so you can see how we keep wicking off of that. And if it manages to push higher, then it'll start to find some resistance right there. So it's plenty of resistance in here as let me change that to white. Plenty of resistance in here for Zcash. Um, but I did enter. Let me even see if I'm up right now. I don't even know if I'm up or if I'm down. I should be up. Of course, that's the entry right there, right? Barely up. Yeah, I'm barely up. But that's the ZEC. Okay, so again, hitting some resistance right here. Uh, let me just label this resistance. don't know why it's reacting the way it's reacting right here. And just plenty of resistance, but that's another trade that I'm in right now, Zec, and so you understand my reasons also, for the entries. It's also like it really needs to defend it here. It could be a problem. It's a risky trade, at this stage. It is still closer to highs and lows, so it's not ideally someplace that you'd be wanting to enter a long position on Hyperliquid. I mean, on Zcash. I'm just letting you know that up front. It's barely clinging on to the support in here. It's barely clinging on to it as well. So we have the pivot, which is the most important thing, and then right here, this moving average right here. Uh, This would be like a 200 right here. So if it drops down into here, like you really want to see it hold right here at this ascending trend line right here would be again like a 200 EMA would be this one right here. So I know that it hasn't actually given me any sort of momentum indication to take the entry. I'm just doing it based off of the support level. That's it. The support level and understanding that it could still push down and then tap into this trend line here, which is where you really want to see it hold. You don't want to see it lose this right here because then again, like I said, you'd be trading under your 200. You're already so far off on your MACD. You can tell that right here. You see MACD is negative, so you only have one one trend indicator green, and that's this one. And when you lose that one, you have no type of trend, no type of bullish trend whatsoever when this one is gone. So the TMA, the MACD, the TMA, and the R mean, these three right here identify whether or not you have, whether or not you're holding a trend. Red, no. Green, yes. And I only have one, and that's this. And once that's gone, like I said, that's equivalent to a 200 EMA. Then you're all the way bearish, all the way bearish. So that's the thing. That's the thing, right? Um, while I have you here, near. I am in the near long. This part over here doesn't look good. I entered it because of the 1 hour. I was waiting on something to give me confirmation on the 4 hour. You see this? We have one indicator that's showing a buy signal. Just one. It's a momentum indicator. It's a stochastic. That's the only one we have on the 4 hour time frame. We don't have a trend on the 4 hour other than down. We have a downtrend, a descending trend, a bearish trend on the 4 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, however, I did notice that we had a positive trend signal on the 1 hour, which is why I went ahead and entered. So we have one trending indicator. So I went in and I posted, "Hey, I'm in." We have been watching this area right here for it to hold, and it is critical. The way you see me post it down here, it is critical. Here's the deal with near protocol is I had two setups in here. I had this one right here that I had put into the waiting room. And then I had the other one is here, this midpoint right here of this order block. This is coming from a weekly time frame, so it's very large. So this order block right here, this midpoint right here is your 786, and I can actually put that back on. I turned it off because I didn't want anybody to look at it anymore. Um, but that's what it is. It's 786 hit retracement, which the last time price action pushed into this, it did get a V-shaped recovery. So what I shared in the post is that if it were to lose the golden pocket, it could see a V-shaped recovery off of the 786. It's not a chance that I'm willing to take. If I get stopped out of this long entry here on near protocol, then I'm gonna let it go because I know below here is a problem. Looking at the weekly time frame, it's a problem. So I don't know that I wanna deal with it. Like, I will see what it's like down here if that were to happen. But again, the 1 hour was the only time frame that gave me some sort of, you know what, it's okay if you want to get into it. As soon as you get a chance to take some profits though, if you able to lock in profits, lock in and, adjust stop loss. So that's where I'm at with near protocol right now. We may be starting to get a 4 hour confirmation anyway. We may be starting to get this 4 hour confirmation anyway. But you can't you don't see it right in here. So this is strictly just coming off of you'll see where I posted that about an hour ago, the update. But and I just kinda try to let you know, like, what I'm looking at ahead of time if I can, like, where I think things might, pique my interest at. So, initially, I was watching around that point of control and this ascending trend line in here, but it's no entry. Want to see some consolidation, need to see it walk sideways for a while first to see if there's actually some buying interest in it. So, we ended up breaking through this one right here. I never made any attempt there whatsoever, and this was the other one right here. So, this is the current one right here. So this is from where I initially did post on their protocol. So, I go in and I give you updates along the way. This was the next update right here. I just let you know, hey, it's still sitting in the waiting room. I deleted the initial one that was here. So now I have to concentrate on this one. And then I added this right here to the mix. And this this is where I go back in after this and I say, you know what? Scratch that. Scratch that. I'm not but I figured I could explain it to you on the live. Um, so this is the one that we've been consolidating around right here. We've been consolidating around this one right here, and it wasn't until this morning prior to coming on stream where I felt like, "Okay, I've decided to go ahead and take an entry on it because 'Cause we've been dancing around it for you see several candles now, we've been dancing around it now, and I labeled it critical support. I took off the 786, but I know that this dash center line of this order block is that 786, and the weekly time frame, yeah, I don't like the weekly time frame. Alright, so but yeah, please do your thing. Do your thing, Near, do your thing. Um, we're hitting the mean right now on the RSI, hitting the mean at the moment. Always a good I mean, it's barely moved away from the line. But if you're a scalper, it's a good TP. If you're a scalper, I'm looking for a swing trade. But if you're a scalper, it's a good TP. Otherwise, I give some money to the market if I get stopped out on it. Let me take a look at the weekly here. It doesn't look juicy, right? You see these reactions. The weekly is not looking good. So we've been hitting a long term mean. So I have two. I have 7, 14. 14 is standard, 7 is fast, 14 is standard, and then 28 is for long holds, okay? So we've been hitting this one right here rejecting, and you see what those wicks look like. They don't look nice at all. not at all. But when you look at it from the 4-hour time frame, um, how I, it's the point, it's the value area high of the range for the fixed range value, uh, uh, fixed volume range profile. It is the value area high. It's the value area. But this is the rejection. It is the 28 rejection point of your RSI. If you were to work with a long term RSI, so this is standard. Let me change it so you can see. Uh, that's gonna put the RSI in this green line right here. Oh, sorry, not the green line, but the 50. It's gonna put the RSI at around 50. So if you switch to a 28, that's what that is. So you're just hitting your mean reversion and you're flat on your mean. You're flat around your mean in here for near protocol. It's hard to see it now because we're hitting wicks. I mean, we've already rejected, so it's hard to see it now because it just looks like a wick. But that's the situation right now. And you can see right here, we're at the golden pocket, which is this critical area of support. There is the 786 right here, which I don't know if I do or not. You can see how we did get a nice reaction the last time that we did break down in here. So it won't be a limit order for me by any means necessary. It won't be a limit order. Um, hold on. I said weekly. I meant daily. I didn't mean to look at the weekly. I meant to look at the daily. So I didn't like it on the daily time frame. Forgive me. I didn't like it on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, if we lose this area right here, we'll fall underneath the 200. Let's say if I had 200 EMAs on. Actually, let me just do that. I can still use 200 EMAs to tell me what's what. Let me make sure my EMAs read that, and let me put 400 right here. So 400 is all the way up there, which was where it was rejecting from in the past. But this right here is a 200 EMA right here, 200 EMA. How off were you from here? Pretty off right now. Well, no, I'm not gonna go with that because I'm not giving it no extra space. Uh-uh. You lose this right here, it's a problem. The daily time frame can be a problem. Again, it did get a nice reaction. You can see that this is the order block right here. This right here. This is the midpoint of that order block right here where the juice of the trade took place at right there. It could, again, like I said in the post, it could get a V-shaped recovery if it were to do something like that. But right now, like this is everything for me. Like this is so important for me. And then you can see how I put that green line in here that was showing up in the chart on the post right here. Because this is just a mean reversion here on the daily time frame. It's a mean reversion area here on the daily time frame. If it gets through this consolidation, because that's why they're sitting here like this, because price action is consolidating and going sideways. I don't know what kind of structural pattern it is. Maybe some sort of a wedge or something like that. I don't like it. I'm forgetting about the pattern and just focusing on where trouble could arise from. But yeah, this value area low, this is the golden pocket. And also, like I said, like it would like it's the only thing that's holding. It's the only trend indication here on the daily time frame. And then you saw that on the weekly. It's the mean reversion on the weekly. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. So again, I'm sticking with this 1 hour. I'm sticking with this 1 hour right now. That's the only thing I have, and the fact that we've consolidated. Like the consolidation could go on for a while. You can see how long consolidated over here. Like how many days was this before it finally got a break up? It consolidated here for uh, that's 2 days. We haven't even been. Oh man, won't he do it? Won't he do it? Yes, he will. Yes, he will. I'm gonna go ahead and lock in my fees on that little pop, 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 pop. Go ahead and lock in my fees. I ain't got no problems with it. Okay, I locked in some fees, and that reduces my risk if we, or maybe I can come in and I can add a little something, something, something down there. If it were to come back, you know what I'm saying? If it were to come back, if it don't come back, then okay. Oh, woo, yay, baby. That made me happy. 4 hours trying to give it right now. 4 hours. Let me see. Let me see. Let's see. We added a RSI in here, but that is the first reversion right there into a 7 right there. Okay, 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 near. Okay, near. Whew. I can breathe. Oh, I can breathe. Ah, I can breathe. All right, near. All right, so that's near. A quick little pop. Yay, man, that made me happy. I do wanna see it close above that. That would be nice to see it close above this point right here, but I can get a closure here. If I can get a closure here. Without the closure, I got nothing, but if I can get a closure here, oh, man, I have to refresh my computer again, um, in order for certain things to show up. If I can get a close there, then I can get a shot, then I can get a charge. I'm just gonna put a note right there. Actually, I can't. Look, it has to okay, that's your own stream, though. It has to close above here in order to get the charge. Um, it's not a charge unless it close above it. It's just a liquidity grab right now. It's a charge if we get a close above it. So that's the hope in. I'm gonna take it away until that at least happens. So just hide that because yeah, we got a liquidity grab and a rejection right now. But I did lock in on fees and that, so it makes me happy. All right. Um, what else? I have to go over here to this third pane right here. So this is the BNB situation right now. You can see BNB momentum. We lost momentum, of course. We still just sideways inside of the pattern in here. Um, the VWAP flat, still consolidating between 1 and 2. Um, we're doing nothing. Trade is still open. Um, stop loss is set to break even on BNB, so still long on BNB as you can see. Didn't quite make it up here to the full TP, which is fine. I'm actually looking for this to hold for longer. I did TP one time, and then the rest of it is left in here. So if I get stopped out, then I will be looking to re-enter on the long position for BNB. But BNB is one of those is a token where you want to be looking for a long. and not a short. I don't care if price does break down. If it breaks down, it breaks down. It's just still not something what you want to look for a short on. You want to look for a long. The same thing I said about Litecoin. Litecoin is not something, even though it's been outperforming Bitcoin here, it's not at a place where you want to be looking for loans. It's at a place where you want to be looking for shorts because it's at highs. It's pushed into resistance levels and it's extended around those resistance levels. Doesn't mean that it can't go higher. It is extended around those resistance levels, which means you have a better chance of winning if you move with the direction that you know you should be moving in. And that would be a short on light, a long on BNB, a long on near protocols. What you should be looking for is a long. I don't care if it does go down, you should be looking for a long. The same situation was happening with Hyperliquid. Even though Hyperliquid is bearish, just looking at how extended it is, Hyperliquid is something that you should be looking for a long on. BTC, extended at the highs, still holding, moving real slow, looking like it's still going to go up and take out the high. But guess what? It's at resistance. It is showing a lot of weakness at the highs too. It is a place where you should be looking for shorts, not longs. And that I mean that if you're looking to swing trade, if you're looking to scalp it, then you can do whatever you want to do. But that's just me. That's just me. So for BNB, just sideways, shopping around VWAP. That's it. Nothing to really update here on BNB. What else I was looking at here in the BNB section? I did start looking at HBAR because HBAR did get a nice little pop up. Monero still going. This shit's strong. For what reason? I don't know. But it's one of those where I want to find a short entry on. I can't mess with it because it just wicks. Let me show you what it did. Let me show you what it did on the short. See that? You see what it did? Now, I did not enter the short, but I was watching this. I was watching this to see how it was gonna perform right here. It's just one of those. It's been performing very well. I'm bullish on Monero, but Monero hasn't pulled back. As long as it keeps pushing higher, I have to keep trying to identify where a short opportunity would come in because it's very toppy. It gets very, very, very toppy. It has a strong Had a strong, move on the Bollinger, I know that much, when I was looking at it. Yeah, so you can see how it was trading, ever since it got the break out of here. Standard deviation 1 and 2 through here. Like, this is like a man, even on a Bollinger, like, that's just crazy stuff. Not even a squeeze. It wasn't even a squeeze there. Like, that's a standard deviation, what, 4? Not even I mean, it could have been. I mean, it's still pushing, still pushing. Let me see what the upper. Yeah, I guess it's crazy numbers. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's strong. Like I looked at the weekly time frame for Monero, and I told y'all this the other day too. I think like the past two streams or whatever. Monero, man, I love it, and I'm bullish on it. But I need for it to pull back, and it's not giving me that. But this thing looks good on the weekly. It looks like you want to be long. It got to pull back for me to take a long though. It ain't pulling back. I'm just not gonna buy it in here because to me it needs to correct first off of this 4 hour time frame. But I mean it's been holding this momentum line through here. Um it's been holding. It's been holding. Uh Positive trend, either way you look at it. I mean, just a positive trend here on the 4 hour time frame. If I were to look at MACD, MACD is showing that it is cooling off a little bit. Right, well, the delta is cooling off a little bit right through here. So that's what delta is. The trend is defined by the MACD, but the delta is at a cooling period. MACD right now is at a cooling period. Um, I can see some bearish divergence, which I don't see here off of, I mean, you do, actually you did at one point. You did see some against this high over here, but, I wanna long it, but I need for it to pull back. I can't long this. Why would I? Why would I long that? I just can't. I just can't. But I know it's Monero, and I know that it's one of those it has fair liquidity on exchanges, which is why you get those crazy wicks. So I'm not gonna even bother trying to take a chance on, on that until yeah. I can look again right around here for a short. What did you do? What did you do? I doubt I'll take it. Little golden pocket. Little golden pocket 786 right there. I seriously doubt I'll take it though. Let's see on the daily. Yeah, MACD is coming up off of this daily, looking nice and juicy. Uh, Momentum, you know, but Monero will put these wicks on you. Monero will put them wicks on you. Ain't got time for that. It will put them wicks on you. All right. So, and then on the weekly, it's so close. The first time it failed, it did okay, but it's coming up again. So it's closer to the zero line than not. Um, that was a successful one. That was semi. I mean, you got a nice little push out of it. It's not too often, not too many times. Yeah, it usually fails on around the um, above the MACD, above the zero line. It usually fails around there, which is odd. That was the one time where it did well. This one I had this in here. My alarm may not go off even if I set. You know what? Cancel. I'll check back in on it later. I like the weekly time frame though. For Monero. Monero. Um, let's see what I got on in here. See that? Man, I like it. I just can't right now. I need for it to pull back some. Some. Oh, I need you to pull back some, Monero. It's the daily. Look like it's yeah. I just can't do it like this. If it pulls back, even to back test where it broke out from. Like I know it's gonna look bearish to you guys if you were to see that, but it's actually a pretty good thing. If it were to do that, I think it has like a beautiful alligator mouth here on the 4 hour. So you can see the alligator mouth here on the 4 hour time frame. It won't even drop below a standard deviation. I mean, not saying standard. It won't even drop below that 7 right there, which means it's maintaining above a 60 RSI. That's bullish. Like it's staying above 60, staying above 60. If I flip it to a 7, you'll see that it's doing a mean reversion. So it's hitting 50. If I flip it to a 7, I mean, it's up above it right now, obviously. Uh, and because it wicked down here, you can't tell it. And let me stop because when it wicks, you can't tell it. You can't tell that it's going down. It has to be in real time. Yeah, if I could get, uh yeah, if I could get it to come back in, I will be interested in taking a long off of it. I just can't do it right there. Shoot 1 hour. I might need to stick to lower time frames when it comes to Monero, because the higher time frame is where you really see those wicks at. I think lower time frames is better for trading it. So that just tells me that it has no long-term um, stamina. Doesn't have long-term stamina, but it gets real strong on these lower time frames. Beautiful chart. Let me move on past Monero. I wanna be long though. I definitely wanna be long on Monero, and ADA's been performing like a monster. You know I'm looking to short this thing. My short criteria is all the way up there, and I did notice yesterday, um, how important it was for ADA to hold, right here. It was actually, aside from it had nothing to do with this part right here. Um, I was looking at it from the QTD. So I could see that if it dropped below that 1707, it would have some problems, based on QTD. That's what I was looking at, and I could have taken that long because usually it'll come back into the support. It will use QTD a lot of times as a support level. You see that across the board. So if I was QTD, it's really bullish right now. But you can see where it tapped right here. This was flat. This is dropping down, which means I'll end up probably getting what I was looking for, which is for ADA to push up into here somewhere. So it has a long way to go. Looking really good, man. It's looking really good. Like this tends to be bullish. It look like it's having a little bit of struggles with the follow through, but you can see how it closed above that previous day high yesterday. Uh, yeah. So I mean, it looks good. This tends to indicate some sort of bullish narrative when you see that drop like that. You see that drop like that, like a lot of strength is backing this thing up, is what it means. So yeah, it'll be up here somewhere. Do I take this long? I don't know. I could. I could get long on ADA. I should have taken it yesterday when I looked at it when it was right here. I didn't do it. Got a good trend though. It does have a good trend, so I like that. And nice trend, nice trend. I love it. MACD was just doing a little cooling off right there. Uh, Love VWAP. There was also a VWAP bounce that it got yesterday too. Yeah, I did notice that as well. It's like, okay, VWAP and QTD um, lining up together for that VWAP bounce on 80 yesterday. And it's holding above that VWAP. It got a long way to it can go. It can go. It can go. I like what I'm seeing for it. I'm bullish on this one. ADA. I'm not in the ADA position, but I'm bullish on it. I think I got enough stuff open. I got enough stuff open. But loving the ADA. Loving the ADA. I think that was it. Yeah, it was ADA, Monero, Sui. I didn't look at Sui. I didn't look at Sui. I moved Sui up this morning because it's about this midpoint of this channel for me. Still rejecting off of the value area high. If I was looking to take a position on Sui, it would be a short. Yeah, it would be a short. Sui is up there. It would be a short. So I would look for a short somewhere around in here or somewhere in there. Now, if I get a good pullback before that, and I'd be looking to take a long on it because at least it will have cooled down a little bit. But right now it's high. Structurally, it could be rising. Could be a rising structure structurally right through here, like Bitcoin right through here. Could. Um, so uh, Still looking forward to get into this midpoint of this channel. Like I said before, you start reject there, and then reject in here. So if it could do that, that'd be great. I even moved this one up, which is actually um, daily a daily zone. I even moved this one up right here to be a little bit more towards the top side. As I adjusted this one, I adjusted this one too. So it looks like chances of getting up here into this daily zone are stronger. I'm much stronger, which is where I'll be looking for to find some sort of resistance um, to take a short. But I'm short hunting on Sui. Sui is in the waiting room. He is in the waiting room. And I'm watching so you can see basically I'm looking for somewhere around that 79 to 80. That's what I'm looking for on Sui. If I were to take a short, it'll be something like that given. Yeah. 'Cause I wanna see it push through this anyway, because right now it's not a good risk to reward. If it were to become something greater, it would change, but right now, this is not a good risk to reward. I'm looking for it to push through, so yeah, around 79, 80 is what I'm looking for on SUI in terms of a short position. If it were to drop down, I would start to look at a long opportunity, and it would be somewhere, it looks like it would be somewhere back down around here, and, I look forward to hold up on this low right here. So the bottom side of the channel, and then the low would probably be my support level or my stop loss level right there on the pull down. But as long as it stays in here, it's worth looking for a short and not a long. I think that's what I got here on the altcoins. Yeah, ADA, Monero, Sui, HBAR, Hype, Litecoin, Near, ZEC, BNB. Oh, there's a situation with Ethereum. It's still holding right here. Um, basically whatever Bitcoin is doing. It hasn't even hit a one for one. Actually, this needs to be adjusted. I haven't adjusted it yet because it, it, it hasn't proven itself to not be able to push higher. It hasn't proven that it can't push higher because it actually can. So I didn't adjust this, and I just adjusted the Bitcoin. I left this like it is. So choose wisely because I don't know. I don't know. But so far, he ain't even done that yet. Um, holding up pretty decent. Holding up pretty decent here for Ethereum. Even when it did that right there, which is crazy because it put in bearish divergence. Um, you got the not really, but yeah, you do. So you can see it's consolidating. 'Cause you can see it's consolidating and trying to push higher. Because you can see you got these lower lows on the indicator, and you got higher lows right here on price action. So you got higher lows right here on price action. You got lower lows on the oscillator and lower highs in price action and lower highs on the I'm sorry, higher highs on price action and lower highs on the oscillator. So it is consolidating and trying to push higher. So because the trend is up, you got it's more likely to be sideways than up because the trend is up. Um, it has nothing confirmed. It has nothing confirmed. Overall, the trend is still up. You just got some short-term volatility, uh, but the trend is up on Ethereum. Trend is very up. So that's that. I haven't really looked at Solana. I don't really get into Solana too much. As far as your performers, you got HBAR, you got ADA, you got Hype, you got Monero, you see what I'm saying? Litecoin sitting in here. It has been performing pretty well. It has, and it refreshes it repeatedly. I put it on the top 25 is what I look at, top 25, and then I do them based on the performance of the top 25. And yeah, H bar, ADA, Hype, Monero, Litecoin. I'm looking for the ones that have a little bit more liquidity. You can always change this right here. And then you can see you get a whole bunch of garbage in here that I don't know anything about. I'd rather, and see if you did top 50, you got World Liberty Finance, OKB, H bar, Uni. All right, Uni. Then you go back, you got ADA in here, AVAX, Aave, Hype, and basically your main ones. But I um I like to manually tell it to give me a top 25. They're gonna have a little bit more liquidity, so I stick with those. I look at those and I look to see, what kinda trade I can take on those right there. Never looked at any gram before. I don't even know what gram is, but yeah, these are your performers right here. And then I was looking at, push this over here. Um, I was looking at things against Bitcoin, and let me just refresh this one more again. So you can see near is now outperforming Bitcoin very well. These are just the ones that I'm looking at here against Bitcoin. Like it doesn't show you all of them because this is where I have to put in here myself. If I start to look at a token, then I will add it in here just to see how it's doing. Ondo not performing so well against Bitcoin right now. You can see Bitcoin dominance is all the way down here and it's in the red. What does that mean? That means Bitcoin dominance is not moving the market. So while Bitcoin is dropping, altcoins are able to move. I caught that last night. I caught it last night as I was watching, as I was looking to see like what my performances were going to be like. And I saw initially Bitcoin dominance was sitting in here at the top side, and then I peeped where it had actually dropped. I was like, "Oh, okay, so altcoins are able to perform," and that's the first thing I noticed was, Near Protocol wasn't moving with it anymore. I was like, "Great, great," and this morning when I got up, like, "Okay, same energy. Okay, can probably get something out of this thing now. Can probably get something out of it now." Because Bitcoin dominance was high, but Bitcoin dominance is taking a temporary pause, and that's good. That's good while Bitcoin keeps doing all the stuff that it's doing, it's good. So Bitcoin dominance down right there a little bit, a little bit. You see others is up. Others is performing pretty well. That's everything excluding your top 10 to BTC. Others is up. So should see quite a bit of lower cap altcoins performing. Nice. Nice. Love it. I love it. I messed up my settings over here last night, messing around with pressing on the changes and stuff. Like I don't mind doing it when it comes to this right here because this is good. I like to I have to constantly do it just to refresh things. It doesn't refresh on its. It doesn't reorder them on its own. I have to constantly do it like this right here to see like um, what's not doing so well and what's doing pretty good. You go near, baby. You go. All right. I've had enough. I've had enough. Bitcoin. See how Bitcoin performing? And you saw that dominance? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. In fact, let's actually take a look at Bitcoin dominance. I usually look at it from a higher time frame. I mean, it looks like it's just a temporary uh, type thing. Let me put it right here. Actually, okay, here we go. This might not be the right pane where I keep my data at, but let's see. Okay, I haven't looked at this chart in a long time. I just happened to notice it from my against BTC. collection that I have, but I haven't looked at this chart. I don't know how long it's been. It's been a very long time since I last looked at it. I think I usually look at it from a monthly anyway. And yeah, I haven't had to add anything or change anything because it's been months since I've actually looked at months with an S, like a long time. Like I don't know how long it's been since I looked at this chart. I haven't talked about it on any streams either, so I know that it's been a long time. I don't even need this anymore. Like we saw that happen. Delete that. Um, this is that wedge. Actually, I should change this, right? Did I draw this on a monthly? No, actually, I drew it from here. I must have drew it off of a line bias. Okay, yeah, I did draw it off of a line bias. Oh boy, so it's not that the dominance is down off of this weekly time frame. It's not that it's down over here. Let me go. It must be the 1 hour. It's a 1 hour, I suppose. Wow, it's temporarily down against some altcoins though. Um, yeah, it's temporarily down against some altcoins. What is this? This is 15. It's supposed to be on the 15. Well, you can see where it was holding support at off of the higher time frame. It was a. I'll flash you back on that real quick. You can see support level right here. Um, support zone level right here, 58.33 and then 56.07. Sometimes the internals will, the internal part will work out. I tend to like the top and the bottom, but sometimes internally, you know, that's good too. It's just cleaner than having a bunch of. If you see me with the pivots everywhere, it's just cleaner than that. Let me see what this news is. Bitcoin will get from Hyperliquid, Robinhood, and next crypto bull market. Okay, all right. I don't look at indicators on this. It's just that this was 15 minutes. I hadn't even pulled out my zones, not all of them. I pulled out this one right here. You can see we dropped below it and we tried to come back into it, and we've been rejecting off of it. This was the only one that I was watching yesterday because when we started to, I was looking for a structure to actually try to change in here. It wasn't happening because I've been following the structure. It's gonna look funky. It's gonna look funny to you. Just basically just following the structure. We got a market structure shift when we got this right here. So this was the second lower low that we put in with the closure from here. So we did get a market structure shift here, and we haven't been able to change the market structure. Not yet. So just lower lows and lower highs. Even when you get a chotch, even when you get the chotches, even when you get the breaker structures, you had a market structure shift, which means you had uh, double lower lows and lower highs. So the market structure shift was down. So that's all I know. And as I look at it, I look for the shift to change. So the internal stuff doesn't matter. That's why you don't notice all of this right here. Like this doesn't matter to me. This is internal. This doesn't matter. We got this. We got a market structure shift, which means if anything is going to change, I'm gonna need to see that happen twice. Like it needs to close above this high right here. Then I can say, okay, now we got a market structure shift to the upside. Like I did a little indicator for it um, that identifies when the structure seriously changes and not when it's just internal breaks. 'cause that doesn't matter. But yeah, you got the chotch, you got the breaker structure, and then you did it again. That means that it's bearish. It's really, I mean, at least on this time frame anyway, it's bearish until it takes out another high. It has to double higher lows, double higher highs. So that's what we need to see. So that would be, I think I got it over here. Yeah. And so I call it proven structure trend breaks. That's what I call it. So it's like right in here, like it would have had to hold this low and then be able to push up and change and close above here in order to actually flip the trend. It's not flipping it because it's not doing that. Anyway, enough of that. I don't know why I got it on. I don't know why. I don't know why. But disregard to the internal stuff. It's nothing. It's more like looking at it like I guess from a like here you wouldn't even paid attention to that. If you were on a 1 hour time frame, that wouldn't matter and that wouldn't matter. Even this MSS probably wouldn't matter right here. I can take that away. This right here may not have mattered. This would have mattered. This chotch right here or this breaker structure right here would have mattered. This looks like one move down. So I would classify this as one move down. You had to bounce up, put in a lower high, it broke. So the trend is down. It's down. And we do this again, we got a market structure shift off of the 1 hour time frame, basically. You just have to take out the internal stuff because it doesn't matter. The internal stuff doesn't matter. So it's just like that. Just like that. 1, 2, 1, 2. And I get one more. I can say this is a market structure shift. Then if we close below here, then we're probably doing it on a higher time frame. But that's the move right there. That's what we have. And tell you some really good indicators to use. Um, I like so you have Lux Algo and you have Zimmerman. I think that's how you say it, Zimmerman. I used to look at theirs, and they have. I like to look at that smart money. So you have Lux Algo, which has a lot of people using it. The Lux Algo one is good for, like, order blocks. It's good for that. As far as the structure changes go, it picks up everything, and then there's certain things that you don't wanna pick up. Looking at it, the chart yourself and doing it yourself is the best way to understand the market structure as opposed to one of these plugged in indicators. If I had to say anybody calls market structure the best, it would be, Zimmerman. It would be his. It's 20,000, K here. It would be his, though. Like, his, it doesn't, um, take into it like, he does his basically how I look at my market structure. how he does his, like, I got well, mine's right now, I got it reading charts or something. Let me turn my stuff off. So he's calling it a charge from here. Like, he takes out a lot of the internal stuff. He takes out of a lot of the internal stuff, which is what I like. So even here for him, he's not even identifying this pivot right here the way I am. He's looking at this one. So he's uh, he's looking at it like this. Uh, 1, 2, 3. So he's looking at like a three-wave move right now. I like his. I like his a lot. And his also comes with like he has like you can use like his show trend. So right now he still identifies the trend as positive. And then he has this high low, higher high and uh, lower low right here. Oh, no, 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 not that, not that. Hold on. What was it that I wanted to look at? Oh, his range. So his range is like looking at a let's see. I'll put the box in here. So his range is like looking at fib retracement. You got your mid in here. So it shows you where your premium is. Then when you hit discount, which is usually around a 50. So from here to here, it's a 50. Should be like a 50% right in here. Oh, it's strong. I'm sorry. Let me change this. That's what it does. Yeah. So the 50 is right through here for his. And that's what this is. Like you're paying more up here, of course. And then you start to hit discount right through here. And then you hit value right in here. So if you were buying it through here, then you'd be buying it at value levels. But he has it like a three-way structure right here. And I think his also does like he has this table. I'm gonna adjust this table though, because it's sitting on top of my stuff. Um, and put it at the top and tells you like what he thinks about the trend. And he tells you where your upper range is, which is that, and then your lower range, which is this down here. So before anything changes, that is showing that he has a positive trend. He still sees this as a positive trend. I like his a lot. Um, I don't think he has anything else in here. So that's his, but I like his. I like his for market structure. I like Lux Algo's smart money concept for order blocks and stuff. But smart money, let me delete this. By Lux Algo is going to show you everything, whether it's internal, it doesn't matter. Like it's going to show you all of that stuff right there, and it shows you a little bit too much. It will show you like your. I love it for the order blocks though. I absolutely love it for order blocks. Um, you can color your candles to show you like where, based on their market structure, where you're trending up and where you might be changing structure and you're trending down. I like that about this one. Um, and of course, there's a lot of things in here you can change if you wanted to. Um, you can show right here like the high, and I'm assuming that it's based on volume or something like that. Saying that this was a weak high, which means price action can come back up and take that high out. Um, and then it'll show you the low as well and explain to you whether or not the low was strong or not, which in this case, is probably saying that the low was strong, but the high is weak, so price action could come back up here and take out that high. Um, it's doing the internal blocks right here, so that you can change it from internal blocks to swing blocks, which probably only show, like, it's not even showing that, so it's not identifying this as a swing block. Swing block must be up higher, but you can change that. It'll show you that. It has I love equal highs and lows. I love that. If you want to look at fair value gaps, it'll show you, like, where your fair value gaps are at also. Um, so this is fair value gaps over here, and it shows you even where your midpoint is on your fair value gap. This midpoint is very important on a fair value gap. So when you come back into a gap, you're looking for the midpoint to hold up as support. If you're pushing, if you're trading below that midpoint, then chances are you do a full fill of the inefficiency um, when it comes to a fair value gap. And then, of course, you can use them as IFVGs too, which is inverse fair value gaps, but it shows you that, which is really cool. You can turn on your daily. So let me see. I think, yep. So this one right here is their daily low and their daily high. You can even turn on weekly, weekly right there, and you can turn on monthly, um, prior monthly highs and lows as well. So I like that. And just like Zimmerman, they have the premium zone, the premium discount zone in here. So this is your equilibrium right here. This is your 50% right here. And then of course this is your premium up here. And then I want to show you what the discount is. I didn't want that to turn off on me. And then the discount is all the way down here. So it's looking at this, looking at that low to that high up there. But good indicator. The only thing I don't like I said, is it picks up everything, like all of the internal stuff too. I don't like I don't like the market structure as much as I like um, Zimmerman, Zimmerman, but it's a good indicator to use. Lux Algo Smart Money Concept free, 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 free. Out of there. Anyway, um, but yeah, what I was saying here, we did break down below our support level in here, and this time we didn't get back above it like we did over here. So we're rejecting off of the lows of that. Got that bounce off of that 786 here. If we do push down, continue as always. Just try to even it up a little bit. I'm sorry. It's funny like that. It's at 65. And then we got that trend down here still, which is what I think that's pretty much what we're hoping for on this trade down, even though I did make some adjustments. But, week high, right? Can still go for it. Hopefully that daily will start breaking down though on that rising wedge structure for this short to and I know I shared this well in advance with you guys on stream, and then I posted it also. So it could have been worth waiting for, but I know that I shared it. This was back before we started to get into the zone of interest in here. Um, and I did update it on the adjustment of the entry and the stops in here. And this was the original post right here. Um, I understood, and I said you want to see it push through that entry to get a better risk to reward. And then that was the first initial post on me watching for it to break above that trend. and then I came in and I updated and I said, "I've updated the short entry price levels in here." Um, Actually, it was the stops that I actually changed. I actually did not change the entry per se, but like I said, you wanted to see it push through the entry point, push through the entry point so you can get in at a better entry. Because I just know that it would be somewhere in here that's gonna offer you a good entry, somewhere in here, all the way up to that 66,991, which again, as I explained, was that monthly pivot right here, and I said that I wouldn't use this as my stop personally. I wouldn't because I understand that that is probably, like, even the best entry is to get in on that stop if price were to get there or, you don't wanna take a chance on missing it right there. So that, and that was what we got right here, that 66991. Bam, bam, beautiful, beautiful. You didn't quite tap it though, you didn't quite tap it, like, you missed it by a hair. You missed it by a hair, but beautiful. Uh, which again, like I said, you also missed that by a hair. Like I said, it is the monthly low right here. The monthly low hanging fruit. The way I do my duties, the way I do my thing. That's how I do my thing right there. Could again, like I said, could do like that. Could do like it did right here because we weren't breaking below here for a minute, which is this over here. We're getting close to this monthly close, which it, look, the last time we did break below the MACD did drop below the 0 line. I don't care about that part. I care about where it has never failed at and proven that it's the low. Like, you can use the Fibonacci retracement levels. You can use those to be like, okay, to try to catch the bottom, or you can look at something that has never failed, and that is when we get this monthly close. Do we close above here? Do we close above the mean? Because historically, whenever the RSI has closed above the mean, you had a low in. The low was in. Like you could identify that the low was in. Whether you're trying to catch the bottom, whatever, you don't have to catch the bottom. That always showed that the low was in. So when you have that, like it closes above there, and I had lines in here. I don't know if they're still in here. They're not. Um, they're not. I can even look at that one, but I'm not. But if it closed above the 50, you never made a new low. Like you never, that was your low. Your low was in. Like you could say, "Oh, okay, my low is in. I can wait for a pullback and I can jump into a trade now and feel a lot more confident." Oh, okay, we closed above 50. So now, yeah, I get a pullback. I can feel confident with setting that as my stop. Oh, we closed above 50. I can feel confident that if we get a pullback, this can be my stop. It's not coming back down below that. Oh, we closed above 50. Get a pullback. Yeah, I can feel confident, like whatever. After that, yeah, that's the only, even over here, that's the only thing that's been solid enough to not have to question. Like you have to wonder like where but we're far from that right now with a few days left in this monthly close. So maybe we just continue. continue down, carve out some sort of wedgie structure or something like that in here. This has been a historical low. Usually we see some sort of a swing below prior momentum low. Prior momentum low was over here, adjusted because when we did it right here, we didn't come back above that one. Um, so this was adjusted for that. And then again, you can see where we stopped at right here on this drop for Bitcoin price action. I prefer to see it swing below it. Prefer to see it swing below it. We haven't done that. What was the other thing? Oh, yeah, weekly. It's another thing. Weekly. Hold on. Yeah, and I want that. I want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. So weekly is 7:52. So this is good timing for me to just cover this. Let me turn off uh Delta. I just want to keep the MACD line in here. Hold on before I do that. Oh, let me get rid of that noise. Actually, I need that. Take that back. MACD above zero. That's one. MACD above zero. That's two. MACD above zero. I think I'm on a Binance chart, which I probably need to be on. I'm gonna do this little thing right here too because it's here. So let's just keep it fair. We don't have that many more to go here. Just to keep it fair. Okay, it doesn't show that it crossed below it right there. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 times historically. 8 times historically, MACD has crossed above the zero line. MACD 8 times historically. So 8 times MACD crossed the zero line. You can wait on this. You can wait and decide, I'm gonna take a long entry. I'm really gonna get serious about a long entry when that happens. You can see that we're nowhere near that right now. We're nowhere near MACD crossing above that zero line on the weekly time frame. It's a negative 5,000. Negative 5,000. Thank you, Swervy Champ. Thank you. We're nowhere near a positive, well, MACD above a zero line. If you'll get MACD above the 9 EMA, that's your fast signal. That's not your trend signal. Your trend signal is when MACD is trading above the zero line for a strong uptrend. So we said it was 8 times that happened. Let's see what happened if you just bought that. If you just bought that, let me turn off one of these songs. I'm gonna set it on auto. If you just bought that, MACD trading above zero, you couldn't have went wrong. You made all of that money. You didn't have to catch the bottom. In fact, that's around the point where you got to close above the mean on the RSI for the monthly time frame, which ain't neither one of them close to that. But look at that win. If you did it right here, you still won. You didn't get as much, but you still won. So that's 2 out of 8 wins. 2 out of 8 wins. Give it a well, 2 out of 8 wins. MACD above zero line. That's 3 out of 8 wins. This one, it failed. So that's 1 loss. Right here, I guess you can call it a loss, right? Because if you'd have entered there, you would have got that. That was COVID right there, I think, right? Was that COVID? I think that was COVID. You would have entered and you would have lost. So that's why I'm counting that. But at this point, the monthly RSI did just close above the mean. So it never comes in and takes out the low. But if you'd have entered off of that, you would have lost. Okay. Here, MACD trading above that zero line now. You did all right. If you'd stopped yourself out right there, you would have got swept. You would have got swept for sure. Because that's you would have got swept out before it did what? Before it continued up on you. You would have got swept out if your stop was there. You would have got swept out. Okay. So I'm gonna count that because I mean that's how much of a move. I'm not gonna even put it on the low of the candle. I'm gonna say I enter right here. That's almost 100%. I'm gonna count it. That's 4 out of 8 wins. You ain't have to worry about it at all right here. That's 5 out of 8 wins. You got messed up right here. That's 2 out of 8 losses. And you win again. That's 6 out of 8 times you would have won. I'm not counting this over here because I don't actually see it do it. Obviously, it looks like it did it though, right? 6 out of 8 times you would have won that trade, and you would have won it in man, like, it don't even come back for you. It don't even come back for you. 6 out of 8 times, it don't come back for you, even if you enter after that candle close. Like, boom. Look at that. I mean, you ain't gotta catch the top. 18,000%. That's a quick loss right there. I can tell you it right now. Matt D, not Matt D, but the Delta. Delta was selling off as soon as that happened right here. And tell you something to look at. No, you don't really see it right here. But right here you can see how the delta flip down. It's actually not a good analogy right here. It's not good right here. I probably would have been looking for a short on this anyway because the MACD was already grinding out. So any sort of pushes in here, I likely would have been looking up higher for it to fail. So I would have got messed up right here. But either way it goes, I don't even have to get into all of that. Either way it goes, 6 out of 8 times you entered into a winning trade. 6 out of 8 times. Let's see what was the difference right here. one of the differences right here. I can see it there. There was a difference over here. I can see what the difference was there too. Over here, not exactly what I was seeing before. Um, not so much what I was seeing for the other one that failed. That was some BS right there. We all know that. That bear did. We all know that that was some BS. So I can tell you what they had in common when they did win. Like the strongest move came from when you see this? You see MACD right here? You see the delta? The strongest wins came from when MACD had sold down a lot and then it crossed up above zero and crossed above the delta. That's a telltale right there on the trend. Over here, it didn't do that. So it's usually the way I look at MACD is exactly how this happened. Like I would have been looking for that to fail anyway. It worked and you made some money, but you can see over here like this is the MACD. The MACD was all the way up here for starters, then you sold off, and then you crossed back up the zero line. You didn't come down through here and get like a deep retracement and then cross up the delta, then cross up zero and cross up delta. So that makes a difference if you notice that. Right here, you can see that it did it where it MACD came in, it came up, crossed zero, and crossed above the delta right here. Right here, you can see MACD came in, it sold off, and then here it's trying to cross up the delta. They get stuck with each other, so they bind it and you lose. And then this one right here, you can see that it came all the way down in here on the gutter, crossed up zero, crossed up delta, and then did it again for a win. Same thing over here, was in the gutter, came up, crossed up zero, crossed up delta. That's where you get the big wins at. Over here, you can see you would have lost. What did it do? It was already at the highs. It crossed down and crossed back up zero. It was already at the high. So that's one of the big givers right there, where it is now. So when this happens over here, then I be banking on it to actually, it's gonna work. And it's worth waiting for because it's in the gutter. So when it crosses up, when MACD crosses up, it's going to cross above zero, and then it's going to cross above this delta right here. And it's going to be off to the races, but we're far from it right now. And that's all I got. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. I need to check back on my trades too, because one thing I don't like to do is be sitting here running my mouth and then I'm going to put this in the folder. I think I did this before where I had it in the folder and it got deleted. Because I have covered it before on stream. Oh, let's turn that off. I have covered it before on stream, but man, look out for that. Look out for that. You don't just want no. Oh, we got a positive MACD cross above the delta. I'm not the delta, but above the non EMA. That don't mean nothing. When MACD is trading below zero, it's corrective. It's not trending. You want it to trend. You want to see it trending. That's why I don't know if I have it over here. I don't. That's why on my MS, my market state dashboard, yeah, you want to see a trend. It's not a trend. We don't have a trend. We have a bearish trend. We have a bearish trend. We don't have a positive trend right now. And of course, you can see that with market structure. But these three right here determine whether or not you're trending or whether or not you get temporary volatility. It's temporary volatility. No trend. No trend. We have a trend on the daily, but that trend on the daily, um, yeah, I mean, we have a trend on the daily. I can't deny it. I wanted to. I came over there to deny it. I came to deny it. Still trending. We barely pulled back on the 4 hour. We still have a positive trend. Just a little pullback for now until that changes. And that's what I was looking at. You got no trend over here. You got no trend. But anyway, hopefully this works. Hold on. Hold on. That's not making sense. Hold on. Let me go back. I could have sworn that I had near protocol in the same pane that I was using for Zcash, but I didn't see anything pop up for Zcash. Um, yeah, because I was watching Zcash out of here. I didn't see any details pop up for Zcash. Oh, no wonder. I'm not over here. I'm gonna say that. How is this set up looking right now? It's still trying to hold up. Where's my little resistance line? It must be stuck where it won't show. Yeah, it is. It's stuck where it only show on the 4 hour. Maybe that's a ascending triangle. Keep hammering at that top, and then higher lows. Bust up out of here. All right, I'll do my best to give some updates, look at some other stuff that hasn't, hit a target or something like that that I can share on X at down to crypto TA. I'll look and see what I can't find in here. Um, I'm always going to tell you it's in the waiting room. You can decide whether or not you want to take that aggression and go in for it or not. Because believe you me, like we sat here for many hours before I decided to enter. For many hours, I just wouldn't enter it. And then when I posted it, it was, um, where were you at here? I showed you that. I know I showed you that, right? I showed you that. Yeah, I did. I took you through the update on that. If there was anything else I looked at, it was, I shared that with you too. I showed you, uh, height. I mean, if it looks like something that, um, this was the other day, right here. When we was hitting up here, and I told you I wasn't gonna take a short though. I don't like short and hyperliquid. I don't. I missed this whole short right here, and I could have taken it because I saw it. I saw we were at resistance. I talked about it. I didn't take it. I saw we was at resistance right here, and I mentioned it in the comments over here. We was at resistance. Just letting you know we're testing because I was looking forward to get into these lows right here. I didn't take it. I just don't like shorting hyperliquid. So I missed out on some good opportunities. I just don't like shorting it. Um, but I was talking about, no, where's, I don't see it. I don't see it. I explained to you what I was going to be looking at here for hyperliquid. I don't see it. I don't see it right now. Sometimes it don't show it. Oh, I just had to come up a little bit more or something. Oh, this is where I shared with you on the bullish divs. I was like, man, hey, I'm starting to speculate on hype. That was when I took it. That was when I took it. It was like, "Man, look at that bull there. Look at that bull there. Look at this over here saying that it was a strong bearish trend, and we got all of this bullish divergence." I jumped in. 'Cause initially, I was watching for then I explained I don't usually look at that right there. I'm usually looking at this, 7-8 golden pocket 786 is what I'm usually looking at. I'm looking forward to do something like this. And I go back in and I look at it and I'm like, "What?" That came in the comment section. I put it in the comment section so I don't keep retweeting so I don't keep retweeting it. I didn't hit this button right here with quote tweet. I put it in the comment section of the post of the original post right here. Excuse me, of the original post right here. So once it got there, it was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to take it." Holding up at that 50 with that bullish divergence. Because I was willing to wait for it to get into here, and it might still do that. It might not push up, like, it's showing a lot of weakness. It might not push up. I don't know, but, uh-oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to stop sharing on you, but I am leaving, so I greatly appreciate you for joining me. I'm down to Crypto TA, and, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. If I find something, I will post it on X for you, okay? Not financial advice. I don't give financial advice, but if I see something, Imma go through the charts a little bit, see what perform. I'm only gonna look at, coins with good liquidity. I'm not gonna look at anything that don't have the trading liquidity, 'cause if I do look at that kinda stuff, then you get hit with slippage. Um, you won't be able to execute those trades fast enough, so I will not look at anything like that. I will not, 'cause it'll hurt you. But I love you, and I see you tomorrow, and I see you on X.